Muy buenas tardes, muy buenas noches para quienes se encuentran en Argentina o para quienes se encuentran en Europa. Les saludamos el día de hoy. Tendremos el reto número 3, Dice Game, en este cuarto taller de Speedrun Ethereum. Tenemos invitados especiales esta noche de hoy. Primero quiero darle la bienvenida en general a todos y pues a los profes, a Oscar Riojas, a Santiviana, y tenemos a James Murillo que la próxima semana, el día martes, nos va a dar la clase sobre Real World Assets, una oportunidad muy, muy importante de entender lo que está sucediendo en el mercado mundial. Hola James, ¿cómo estás?
Pues buenos días por aquí, buenas noches a ustedes. Realmente un placer saludarles. Ya me imagino que van en esta gran maratón, en este gran programa que están cursando, que están dedicando, invirtiendo su tiempo. Pues no queda sino invitarles de una manera cordial a que nos acompañen el día martes en pleno fin de semana de halving, o más bien esta nuestra mañana, y que veamos realmente cómo se van a mover los mercados, las estructuras, no solo el precio, sino hacia dónde nos lleva esta nueva dimensión de este halving, que viene con muchas cosas interesantes en cuanto a la tecnología, en cuanto a los real world assets. También va a ser muy interesante ver cómo esas estructuras de mercado y todo lo que hay desde el punto de vista de legislación a nivel global, cómo va impactando esta tecnología sectores tan importantes como la banca, la parte de los seguros, la parte de compensación de bonos de carbono, todo lo que es tokenización de depósitos y todo lo que tiene que ver con real world assets. Así que bienvenidos, los esperamos con mucho entusiasmo el día martes para que no se la pierdan. Así que con toda la buena energía.
Fantástico, James, y muchas, muchas gracias por destinar tu tiempo y sobre todo que estás en otro horario bien diferente allá, ya que ahora viene siendo como la 1 de la mañana.
Sí,
Así que, que la trasnochada y sobre todo la del martes, de verdad que muchas gracias por ese esfuerzo y por acompañarnos, James.
No, realmente para mí realmente es un placer como colombiano pues estar por aquí en Europa, no solo pues estudiando, sino trabajando para algunos protocolos de Digital Assets y Real World Assets. Tener la posibilidad de compartir esto con la comunidad de Ethereum en Bogotá para mí realmente es fascinante. Así que si lo vuelven a repetir o vuelven a hacerlo, ahí me tienen en cuenta. Realmente disfruto poder estar en comunidad y donde me invitan a dar cualquier tipo de charla. Lo hago con el aprecio más inverosímil y más, como le digo, con mucho talante latinoamericano, porque realmente tener los espacios que están construyendo aquí en Europa y poderlo compartir con la comunidad latinoamericana, para mí realmente es un verdadero placer. Así que agradecido a ustedes y por su invitación, a Santiago, Julio y Oscar, de verdad que muchas gracias.
Gracias a ti, James.
Y revisaremos, porque ahorita justamente hubo ahí una pregunta con respecto a que dijeron que se acerca al final. Sí, se acerca al final de la primera parte de este curso. Ya estamos, ¿qué? Nos quedan, después de esta, nos quedan 2 semanas y se acaba esta primera parte del curso y después va a empezar ya el siguiente módulo que tiene que ver con unos temas nuevos. Vamos a hablar con James para ver si nos puede acompañar también para temas más relacionados como con modelos de negocios o un poquito más de profundidad en estos real world assets para esa segunda parte y pues poder complementar mucho más la información que estamos dando ahorita.
Javier nos dice que DeFi, o sea, realmente también dentro de la charla del día martes vamos a ver unos conceptos esenciales de DeFi. Después podemos profundizar a futuro en temas del curso, pero vamos a ver un poco de lo que significa DeFi para Real World Assets, para que ustedes no solo puedan entenderlo desde el aspecto netamente técnico-temático, sino también desde el punto de vista estratégico-producto, para que de tal forma usted pueda diferenciar los contornos desde lo que es DeFi, lo que son real world assets y lo que es la parte técnica de los smart contracts. De ahí vamos a estar dándoles. No les quito más tiempo, chicos. Bienvenidos a su clase y nos vemos el martes. Un placer.
Como les comentábamos, se acerca el final. Nos queda la próxima semana que tenemos la clase con James de Real World Assets y el reto número 4 de este Speedrun Ethereum. Y la siguiente semana vamos a ver un tema de Layer 2 con Arbitrum y el último reto del Speedrun Ethereum, que son los State Channels, que está muy relacionado con ese tema de los Layer 2. Y se nos acaba. Nosotros estamos, para comentarles que estamos pensando en la posibilidad, es que hay un evento el jueves 2 de mayo. Nos invitaron y estamos pensando en la posibilidad de aplazar esa última clase, ese último reto, moverlo a la siguiente semana con eso les da más tiempo para completar todos los retos y también nosotros hemos evitado un montón de eventos que ha habido durante estas últimas semanas, pues por nuestro compromiso con el curso. Sin embargo, es que este está un poquito importante que podamos asistir, así que les pedimos excusas de antemano por esa situación que se va a presentar el 2 de mayo, donde seguramente no tendremos el taller, pero les informaremos bien cómo lo vamos a manejar. Y bueno, por otra parte, ya nos acompaña Kevin Jones. Hey, my man, Kevin, how are you doing, man? Thank you so much for being here with us. Kevin es parte del equipo del Buidl Guidl y de Scaffold-ETH de Speedrun Ethereum y nos acompaña para contarnos sobre el Buidl Guidl. Hey, man, Kevin, how are you doing? Thank you so much.
Doing good. Yeah. Thanks so much for having me. Excuse me. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you very well. You know, it's been almost exactly 1 year from the last time when you gave us this workshop. So it's going to become something at least to do annually or hopefully much more.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm always willing to come on and help everybody out, and I really appreciate everything you guys are doing. I appreciate all the students that are in here right now. Like, it's just so cool to see you guys building on Ethereum and especially doing speedrun Ethereum. It's just great. So I'm excited, and yeah, I'm here to help. So.
Awesome, Kevin. The reason why we invite you today to join us in this workshop is because we've been doing the workshops focused on solving the challenges from the Speedrun Ethereum. So we already solved the challenge 0, the simple NFT, the challenge 1, the staking the app, and the last week we had the second challenge, the token vendor. So this time we are going to start with the dice game, and it's the moment where the people is going to join the Buidl Guidl. And we will love you to talk about the Buidl Guidl, the opportunities, how it works. And as a reminder, our teachers are Santiago Viana. He's the one who runs the workshops from the Speedrun Ethereum, and Oscar Riojas. He is the teacher for the Solidity process that we are taking in parallel. So Tuesdays, we are having Solidity courses and people is learning a lot. We've been working with a lot of students. Thursdays, we are having the workshop. Así que vamos a empezar con la presentación de Kevin. Gente, recuerden, pueden poner sus subtítulos, los closed captions, oprimiendo el CC, que es el botoncito que está ahí abajo, para ayuda para quienes de pronto la necesiten. Y si alguna duda, alguna cosa, pues estamos para que ustedes también al final le puedan hacer una pregunta a Kevin si así gustan. Así que, Kevin, thank you so much, man, and go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. And sorry I can't do this in Spanish. Mi español no es bueno. I took a little bit of Spanish in high school, but it was only for 6 months. So, but I appreciate all of you guys. So yeah, you know, this is a special time because you guys have gone through the first couple challenges and you're about to actually join the Buidl Guidl, or perhaps you already have, or you plan to do this in the coming weeks. And I think it's an important part of where you actually make this pivot, where you've actually gone through and you've done this kind of simple NFT example, and you've also like kind of started getting a little bit more advanced in learning about this like game mechanism with staking and interacting with your friends and being able to do the staking. And these two are a little bit more handheld guided. And I think when you get invited to the Buidl Guidl, I think there's a kind of a shift. Well, first of all, you get a new profile, right? You get access to the actual Buidl Guidl profile, which gives you a little bit more ability, like to be able to submit builds and be a little bit more interactive with the guild. But I think more importantly, you get invited to some special Telegram chats. You can kind of start building, be more involved in the community. And I think that's really important because pretty much after the dice game, the challenges open up a lot. And so there's a lot of back and forth where you're going to want to be able to work with other developers to kind of learn what's going on and learn about game theory and really just get more involved in the community, right? And it's kind of nice to be able to like flex and say, hey, I'm finally in the Buidl Guidl, and you know, I'm one of the core members. And so I really strive for you guys to do that. So a little bit about the Buidl Guild. You know, the Buidl Guild was originally created for a couple reasons. You know, the first thing is that we wanted developers to build on the Ethereum ecosystem. And so, you know, the tooling around Speedrun Ethereum is great because it teaches you about the incentives of building on Ethereum. It teaches you the basics of the game theory and the mechanics. But when it comes to actually like thriving in the Ethereum ecosystem, the Buidl Guild really gives you that opportunity. And that's because not only is it, you know, the challenges that you go through, but you can also start getting involved in creating your own special builds. And this is really important because you're able to do what you think is exciting and what excites you about, you know, the Ethereum and building on the space. And you're able to kind of create these like solutions that you can then share with the community. And you can share with other devs that will actually like bring up their skill as well, right? And so it's kind of like a show by example. Every single week we have the bow tie Friday. Well, not every single week, but most times on Fridays we do what's called the bow tie Friday, where you can actually come on. And if you are active in the Telegram chat, you can sign up to actually come on and show off a build that you've created with Scaffold-ETH, which is really cool. And if you've taken part in any hackathons and you've built on Scaffold-ETH as well, like an example would be Carlos from the Buidl Guild. He created this Dyna OS and he won actually for ETH Global London. And he came onto the Bowtie Friday and showed it off and how it works and how it's built. And so there's a lot of opportunity to just kind of be involved in the community. And just as an example is if you do actually come on and you know, create a profile with the Buidl Guild and you get upgraded, you get this also ability to where you may have the ability to actually do more for the Buidl Guild as well. Like let's say that you want to build or maintain a specific build of Scaffold-ETH that maybe integrates with a specific partner, or maybe you want to help with the tooling set. There's a bunch of tooling that the Buidl Guild supports, like Scaffold-ETH itself, or Speedrun Ethereum website, or maybe you want to create new challenges. Whatever it is, you can actually get access to being an actual builder and get an active stream. So as you know, like the Buidl Guild has been around for a while, but overall we've streamed over 757 ETH to developers, which is a lot of ETH. I mean, that's over 1,000 builds that have been built on top of Scaffold-ETH. And that's a lot of developers. I think it's over 2,000 developers that have become part of the Buidl Guild. So there's just a huge opportunity to, really do something really interesting. And obviously, you know, the Buidl Guild is supported by the Ethereum Foundation. And so it is have this kind of like renewable aspect to where the Buidl Guild is constantly going and constantly supporting the ecosystem. And so there's a lot of ways to get involved. The other thing I want to talk about is we have this other program that we do. It's like a scholarship program. And if you're in the Buidl Guild, you can also take part in certain streams that happen. So as an example would be, I don't know if anyone here has heard of Jesse's Hacker House, but Jesse is notorious for creating hacker houses at different pop-ups around different Ethereum events. And so as an example, we funded the Jesse Hacker House where they could actually do an ongoing hackathon, an ongoing build project in their hacker house. And so there's all sorts of these little things that have popped up for different things, like there's one for ENS. And so we're also doing these things, zero knowledge proof. So if there's something specific you're interested in, there might also be an opportunity for, if you're in the Buidl Guild, to take part in these new kind of scholarships as well. And these always are popping up, and it's just another reason why you want to be inside the Telegram chat with all the other Buidl Guilders and really start to be involved. And there's other stuff that we do. We have the BG Labs, which are like YouTube videos. So if you're on YouTube, you can search for those, just search BG Labs. There's no official like Buidl Guild YouTube right now. It's just Austin Griffith usually posts his videos, but you can search for those. We also do the shipping log, which is a newsletter. So I highly recommend you guys get access to that. And then we also have this tech tree. So when you're all done and you've gone through, Scaffold-ETH, you know it really well, you've gone through Speedrun Ethereum and you've finished, the challenges, you might be a little bit more thirsty for more interesting stuff. Some of that you can just do on your own and, figure out some kind of interesting path that you want to take. But the tech tree is a really good place to go for more advanced topics. So there's tons of information in here, and eventually some of this stuff will be built out into maybe Speedrun Ethereum or maybe into another app. But there's tons of topics, and so you can come in here and you can learn about more advanced topics and kind of expand your knowledge as well in the tech tree. So lots of opportunity in the Buidl Guild, and I'd be happy to answer any questions if anyone has any as well.
Awesome, man. It's fantastic to see how the Buidl Guild and the Scaffold, it just keeps on growing and giving these opportunities for people to stream ETH. And it's been a lot of money, over 700 ETH. That's a lot of that's a lot, and awesome. Actually, we ourselves we're applying to these grants because of this work that we've been doing on onboarding Web2 developers from LATAM, because it's a great opportunity. Si tienen preguntas, por favor, escríbanlas. There's one question I just saw here from Sebastian. He's asking if the Buidl Guild is to generate some kind of income with the projects that people is building.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So if there's obviously, you come into the Buidl Guild, it's a community, and that's kind of like your first touch. But if you're really high impact and you really want to get involved, then, there's an opportunity for you. If you want to work on something cool, if you feel like there's something missing, you can kind of voice what you're looking for and really do that. And, Austin or someone from the Buidl Guild can onboard you and get you guys a stream to be a little bit more active and in the community.
Fantastic, man. So we are going to allow Oscar, one of our students, to open his microphone and ask you a question. So just give me a sec.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you very much, and good night, everybody. I want to ask you something. In order to make that kind of applications, we can see many files in every challenge. But sometimes we only touch 2 or 3 files, where we can find maybe explanation about the other files in order to maybe in the future can build a challenge like this.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, so I think the challenges try to kind of aim at certain things, parts of Solidity. Maybe they kind of like guide you a little bit through like some of the front end stuff. I would say the first thing is, I always tell people, is if you feel like Scaffold-ETH is a little confusing because there's so much going on inside, sometimes it makes sense to kind of rewind a little bit and maybe focus on maybe one particular aspect. So maybe it's Solidity, like you want to be a little bit more comfortable with Solidity. Go to Solidity by example. If you feel that Next.js is a little bit confusing, or TypeScript, take a step back and kind of try to figure out exactly how some of the TypeScript files work together and learn about the hooks and the components. And a lot of that is available on the Scaffold-ETH doc. So, Solidity by example is great for like understanding more about writing smart contracts and writing, Solidity code. And then if you want to learn more about the actual Scaffold-ETH itself, I would focus on the docs where, it covers the hooks and the components. And then obviously you want to have a basic understanding of like TypeScript. So it might make sense to kind of do a little bit of more learning there. That's probably something asynchronous and you can learn how you want, but everyone has their own way. And then I think if you work your way all the way through all of the challenges, by the time you're done with all the Scaffold-ETH challenges, or Speedrun Ethereum challenges, I think you're going to be pretty comfortable with Scaffold-ETH at that point. But don't be afraid to ask questions as well in the Telegram channel. There's a general Scaffold-ETH 2 Telegram channel. That's the best place to ask questions. Make sure you join that. And if there's something that's not clear, someone will explain it to you. Or if you have questions, you can always ask me as well. Hopefully that helps. Does that answer your question?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, sir.
Awesome. Thank you.
¿Alguien más quiere hacerle una pregunta a Kevin? Que levante la mano y le podemos abrir el micrófono. Yo Como ayuda en el video voy a poner también los closed caption para quienes de pronto les costó entender lo que ha estado hablando Kevin, que lo puedan ver mejor en el video. Ya voy, Adrián, ya te doy la palabra, un segundo.
Thank you, everybody. I am very proud to be part of this project. It is awesome. Everything that I saw about this work of the free web is a great task for me. So I'm very excited to be a part of this. So something that I want to ask is in the last project that we worked, I saw the Arbitrum Sepolia included in the repositories. So I want to thank that, because in the first one was a very tricky to handle that. So, but this time the last workshop was awesome to have that for work.
Yeah, all the popular chains usually are supported. And if not, you can kind of add a chain pretty quickly. That there's also a doc inside the docs that explains how to add a chain. So if there's one missing, or if it's like too new of a chain. But that's awesome. I'm glad that you're excited, and yeah, I'm glad you're here. And just keep going at it, and keep going through all the challenges, and don't stop. So.
Yeah, Kevin, because we are having that issue, as one of our supporters is Arbitrum, so our compromise with them, or we need to deploy things on Arbitrum Sepolia, and the first challenge is we try to deploy on Arbitrum Sepolia, and the speedrun Ethereum the Scaffold-ETH is not accepting it. So
oh, really?
Yeah, we're having this problem, and I wanted to take the opportunity to let you know, and maybe the team can take a look on it, because what we are doing is to deploying on Arbitrum Sepolia to be able to do what we are supposed to do with our sponsor, but then they have to deploy again on Sepolia to be able to be accepted in the speedrun Ethereum.
That's why, yeah, because it's basically when you submit a build with Speedrun Ethereum, you are submitting the Etherscan query, and it has to be on Sepolia, yeah. So that's why the grading doesn't work, yeah. So you technically can deploy to 2 networks. So yeah, you just need to deploy to both networks. I guess you could deploy. Yeah, go ahead.
Is there any chance that the chains can be added to the Speedrun Ethereum?
We do some automation. So basically, when someone goes in there and they submit the Etherscan URL, we grab the code, and I think we download it, and then we do like a test, basically a yarn test, to make sure it passes. So I think it's possible, but I think I'd have to default to like Austin and the team. So, but I could bring it up. It might not, it might not be anytime soon, but we can talk about it.
Awesome, appreciate it, man. So anyone else? Because we know, Kevin, you are a very busy man. Kevin, it's also you are part of the Graph team, right?
That's correct. Yeah, I work DevRel for Edge and Node, which is one of the core developers on the Graph. So.
Awesome, man. So glad. So happy to have you here, to have your time. We really appreciate your time, Kevin, and letting us know what's going on with the Buidl Guidl, with the Scaffold-ETH. People is happy. Thank you so much, Kevin. It's really an honor for us. You're a great guy. I told the people I met you here in Bogota, and then we met in San Francisco in the hackathon, and your spirit and the way you do things and you collaborate, it really inspires me and inspires people all around the world, for sure.
Thank you, guys. Well, thank you so much for having me, guys. Good to see all of you, and good luck, guys, with the challenge. Get it done, and just keep building. So I'll see you guys.
Appreciate it, man. See you. Thank you so much.